Are the console wars over? President Trump came out today wearing a Halo suit. Well, not really in real life, but we'll get to it. Hello, everybody. I am Sevi. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And today we are going to talk about the amazing memes that have been coming out from the White House and GameStop. GameStop declares the console wars to be over. GameStop says power to the players, whereas for the past 2 decades, the global gaming community has been engaged in an ongoing and increasingly petty conflict known as the console wars. Whereas said conflict originated in the early 2000s with the release of Halo Combat Evolved as an Xbox exclusive title. Whereas Halo Campaign Evolved is officially coming on the PlayStation in 2026 with cross-platform play. Therefore, GameStop, acting under its authority as a neutral entity and the world's retail gaming and trading destination, hereby declares the official cessation of the console wars. All claims to exclusivity are hereby dissolved. Console loyalists are instructed to cease hostilities, disband militias, and enjoy this new era of gaming. GameStop will continue to operate as demilitarized zone, offering hardware, accessories, and trade-ins to combatants on all sides. Power to the players. So, of course, this is the statement that came out from GameStop on October 25th. And what is even better, putting aside the whole console wars being a silly concept, is the response we got. Just this one. The White House responded, saying power to the players, with President Trump wearing Halo gear, standing in front of the White House, right next to the American flag. And this, of course, came out on October 26th of 2025. Of course, people are so mad and so pissed off at this because they're saying this is being used for propaganda, for ICE. Of course, they're going to complain about it. People are complaining, why are you investing all these resources on video games instead of fixing the infrastructure or the economy or immigration, whatever you want to call it, right? They will always complain. There will always be haters, but no matter what, this picture is amazing. And of course, I have to share this one. Rumors say that President Trump had help from his good friend, Leon Kennedy. These pictures are just so amazing and so great. So we want to understand exactly why people are mad. Let's go through this Polygon article, which is filled with a lot of hate for President Trump and the fact that this is just a meme. In the article, they start by criticizing the fact that he is wearing Master Chief's armor. They criticize the fact that AI did not get all the stars right because 10 were missing, of course. And they say, he's just trying to win an imaginary war. So that's how this article starts in Polygon. And that should be really, really telling. Then they go on to talk about how, they're pushing this as a war on immigration. And let me scroll down for that. Since the White House post on Sunday, and all the attention it has garnered, the Department of Homeland Security has also posted a Halo-themed meme to encourage people to join ICE, the immigration-focused agency. It seems that despite being gifted $170 billion in the big beautiful bill and continued paychecks throughout the government's shutdown, ICE still doesn't have the budget to pay an actual artist. Wow. Okay, first of all, crazy attacks from Polygon. They're immediately assuming that ICE doesn't have a budget, which is absolutely insane that they're saying that too. They're referring to money in a bill as being gifted money. Usually money is earmarked for very specific things that can only be spent on very specific items and causes. It's not like they can just go ahead and spend money however much they want, right? They're earmarked. They're very much protected. And as the government, they have to be very careful about how they're spending that money. The fact that they're complaining that ICE is still receiving paychecks during a government shutdown is also insane. Because what happens generally during a shutdown, let's just break it down. What generally happens is the government goes through a list and determines what is necessary and has to continue going and working and what is not. Right? Some jobs, equally like that, are necessary and they cannot stop working. You don't see them complaining when people have protections, because they're considered to be necessary employment and they're still keeping their job. You don't see them complaining about that, right? So, for example, engineers usually are considered to be a necessary part of the government. So they generally, would keep working during a shutdown, and equally it's just like that. And, they might not be able to strike. So an arbitrator then decides what the contract is if they're negotiating a contract with the government, right? Other folks don't get the really quick and easy way out, which is an arbitrator making a decision for them. They have to fight it out and potentially go on strike and do a bunch of picketing because they don't have that option, because their job is not necessary to keep everything running, to keep the government running. So the fact that they're saying and complaining that ICE is a necessary part of government, I'm sure they have failed to note that very likely it's not everything on ICE being necessary to keep the government running. If you have people in prisons, if you have people detained, don't you think that people that are guarding those prisoners should be there during a government shutdown? Or do you want them to just walk away and leave the prisoners alone to do whatever it is they want? Again, Polygon is really showing their true colors here through this article. Because they're complaining about the fact that ICE is a necessary part of the government that needs to keep going in order to make the government keep going and working. The essential bare necessities of the government. I don't see them complaining about the other branches or the other offices that are still going. I don't see them complaining about that. Anyway, this is the post from Homeland Security. It says, destroy the flood, join ICE.gov. Very, very simple image that they have. And it's just being part of the meme. It's just trying to catch through the backtail of everything that was going on with Halo. That's all it's trying to do. This is really great advertisement. I think Polygon is just mad they didn't think about it. Before we end, I'll show you guys one more meme, which is this one. This is so hilarious. Like, what is going on in this picture? It is too funny. It is too funny. Well, there you have it, folks. We went through exactly what happened. We talked about why are people mad and why that makes absolutely no sense. But of course, you are entitled to your own opinion. So please let me know in the comments what you think. I always love learning from you guys and getting your perspective as well. Please leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about the memes. Did you think that they were in poor taste? Do you think they were not the right thing to go up? Do you think some of the people that are complaining and whining are probably taking it a tiny bit too much? Well, let me know. Make sure to subscribe if you have not already. And I will talk to all of you guys later. Bye, buddy.